LHS, and welcome to the January edition of Book Talk. So I was trying to think about what topic I wanted to talk about this month, and then I was kind of looking outside, and I thought, well, we've all survived these last few cold days. Ding! I thought, I'll talk about survival books. There's a lot of really good books about surviving, mostly in the wild, in the wilderness. Something terrible happens and you're stuck out there. They're very interesting books, and so that's the type of book I'm going to focus on this month. If you were looking for books like this within the library, you would look in the books that have a yellow dot. That's called Action Adventure, and that's where most of our survival books are found. So the first book is called Camp Valor, and this one is about a young man named Wyatt who gets arrested and framed for a friend's crime he didn't commit. He gets a 10-year prison sentence, and then as he's getting ready to go off to prison, a man shows up at the jail he's in and gives him a proposition. He says, look, if you want to come train at this camp and see if you have what it takes to make it, then we'll wipe your 10-year prison sentence off. And he's like, done. So he goes to Camp Valor. Camp Valor is an elite camp for like special agents in training. And so most of the kids there are pretty rough and take risks and sometimes make bad choices, but they're going to help train them to use those skills to be government agents if they can survive. And so this is a great book. A lot of military language, a lot of outdoor adventure survival stuff, and then a little bit of terrorism at the end. So highly recommend this one. It's Camp Valor. The next book we're going to be talking about is called The Lovely and the Lost by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She's the author of the Natural series and the Inheritance Games series, which are both very popular mystery books in our library. Now this one falls under action adventure, but it definitely has a lot going on in it. There's family drama, there's mystery, and there's survival. So the main character is a girl named Kira, and she spent most of her childhood living alone in the woods. She doesn't know how she ended up alone, she doesn't know why, she just knows that she was. And she was discovered by a search and rescue worker and her dog, and was adopted into their family. So she's been living in this family, but she still really struggles with like human interaction because she grew up alone in the woods. And her kind of estranged father comes back and wants their help looking for a missing child. And so Kira really wants to help because she herself was a missing child alone in the woods. And she wants to go help find this missing girl alone in the woods. And so she and her friends take off and go looking for the missing child. But the more Kira travels into the woods, the more the anxiety causes her to freak out. And she has PTSD from being alone in the wilderness all those years. So she's really overwhelmed by everything that's happening around her, and she's struggling to hold it together. Plus, there's just some people in the book who aren't being truthful and a lot of twists and turns. This book is amazing, and I had trouble figuring out what genre I was going to put it in, but I settled on action adventure. This one's The Lovely and the Lost. Okay, our last one this month is called Ruthless, and this one is pretty sick at times. The main character's name is Ruth, and Ruth is tough. She's ambitious. She's very competitive. I mean, she can even be mean. Her nickname, people call her Ruthless because her first name is Ruth. So she is ruthless. She likes to win at all costs. And then she's kidnapped. And she's kidnapped by a serial killer who attacks and kills girls. And she wakes up unconscious in the bed of a truck, and then again, she kind of passes out and wakes up inside of a cabin. The blindfold comes off, and she realizes that her captors are going to torture her. And you'll have to read the book, but she finds her way out and is on the run, and they're hunting her in the woods. And it turns out she is quite ruthless. This one is not for the faint of heart, so it definitely gets a little rough at times, but I loved it. So this one is Ruthless by Carolyn Lee Adams. I hope one of these books piqued your interest this month and that you want to stop by and read something from our action, adventure, and survival section. That's the yellow dot. But of course, there's tons of other books to read in the library. And if you've got a book project that you've got to finish by the end of third quarter, you need to come see me now so that you can get started on it and have something you actually want to read ready to go. So I'll see you in the library.